Today on the show, we talk about Legion, Chapter 7. We're coming to a close just about. All this and more on What the Hell Did We Just Watch? Welcome to another episode of What the Hell Did We Just Watch? I'm your host, Lumotional Lou, and how's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing this Legion Monday? It's the show that helps spread movie awareness, but only on Mondays, it's spreading TV awareness. So, welcome to the show. I hope everyone's having a great weekend, had a great weekend actually, and I hope that you guys have a great week as well. So why don't we just get down to it? This week, we're coming almost to an end. The second to last episode before the season finale of Legion, Season 1, Episode 7, Chapter 7.
The hospital wasn't real.
It was a mental projection created by the monster. I've been paying attention.
Look around, Al. We're in a locked coffin here.
I'm coming for you, baby.
We'd better rescue them. Facing certain death and all that. We have to rescue them. Didn't I just say that? I'm sure I said that.
Wow, what a very interesting episode that was. The conclusion, like I said, it's coming to an end, and I didn't think we were going to get this, but I'm actually happy that we did. In a way. We got basically a 2-episode filler. Like the last episode from episode 6, that was to me it was a little bit of a filler, but also at the same time we got to learn a little bit about who the man with the yellow eyes is, the devil with the yellow eyes is, and I thought it was fine because it's just amazing how it's filmed. I love seeing how the episode is being directed. The writing ability of the show is fantastic. The imagination that's spread across the episode is fantastic. And so, but that episode, I feel, for me, told me enough what I needed to know, where I could fill in the blanks. And that's where Chapter 7 came in, where I was like, I was a little bit disappointed about how the story structure was. I was like, damn it, I know this. I got this in episode 6. Why are they telling me the story again? In terms of just as in answers. That's how they were saying it. And I understand it. And I understand that we need to tell the story, and there are some people that may be still confused about what's going on, and that's fine. I totally get it. But how does that help me as a person that does pay attention, that doesn't need a recap or what else? A recap and kind of like a holding my hand episode. I can't stand that. It doesn't matter when or where it is. It's like, dude, I got this like half hour ago. Why are you telling it to me now? And everybody just needs to be on board. That's just the way they see it, and that's fine, and I totally get it. So I was like, how am I going to enjoy an episode like this, where it doesn't, per se, the story does not go for me? I didn't need to see that in an hour, and they did. They answered it properly, and that was with direction and storytelling, because I will always say this. I've always said this to everyone. You give 10 people, 10 filmmakers, one script, and you will get 10 different points of views, 10 different ideas, 10 different imaginations. If you're good, that's what you're going to get. That's 100% fact. And that was what this episode showed me. So again, it was a filler episode, but for lack of a better word, it was a filler episode because I would have been so upset if they never made it, because of the way that the episode was directed, and it was story written, like how they moved the story along, this very easy story along, about where they were, how they got there, how do they get out. They did answer some questions that I had from the last episode. Were they in the astral plane? Yes, they were. They were there. And that was fine. They answered that question. And the entire episode was, how are they going to get out? And that was also my second question. My subplot question was, how are they going to get out? You know, and they showed me how they were going to get out. But what was in there was all this like kind of like backstory of the devil with the yellow eyes. I got that in the last episode. You know what I mean? I understood that. And this is the reason why I didn't understand why they needed to tell the story again and a lot more elaborate, you know, because for me, like I said, as I was watching it, it's just as I was watching it, I was just like, oh, you know, I'm going to get really bored because I knew what they were going to do. And like the first 5-10 minutes into it, I was like, fuck, it's going to be one of those episodes. But then it took me literally down a rabbit hole, you know, cinematically. And I was like, this is how I'm going to enjoy this very simple plotted episode. And wow, did it deliver. Like, they had these amazing scenes, like David talking to his rational self and teleports himself into a classroom with a whole bunch of blackboards where they begin to think or feel, because it's all in theory, it's not fact, but I'm choosing to believe that this is what really is what's going on. But he starts to, you know, write down what he knows that's fact, his rational self, which I thought was a nice little thing because that's Dan Stevens' actual voice. That he's not an American. I think that's the voice that he has in Beauty and the Beast, because yes, he plays the Beast in the very successful right now Beauty and the Beast film that's out in theaters right now. So I think that's the voice that he uses, his British self. But his rational self starts telling his normal self what are the facts. He is adopted. You know, the devil with the yellow eyes is a parasite. And so they start thinking what could have happened, you know, and that's when he starts kind of realizing that, hey, you know, my parents loved me, but there was this big battle where my father, which, come on, there's no way that he doesn't look like Professor X in that picture, which I thought was pretty amazing. It was a bald-headed, suited man, though it was walking, but it's in imagination. He doesn't know if he's in a wheelchair or not, you know, but he sees this kind of like imagination, like how the devil with the yellow eyes and his father were battling it out, and it just shows it in a really fucking cool way in chalkboard animation, and it's just brilliant. Like, I had to watch it twice. That's how brilliant it was. I just love the way that it was telling that story. And that's what I mean by doing these kind of like backstories and everything like that. And just showing it in a unique, beautiful way. Okay. Like, that's just like amazing, you know, because I would have said I didn't like it because it was just all exposition. And I didn't need an hour in exposition, but the way they told it to me, I was so satisfied by watching this exposition episode because it's brilliant. They have so many beautiful things on there. Now, the things that I didn't know, we can get into now. Like, I didn't know, apparently they gave, the devil with the yellow eyes, they gave him a name. They call him Farouk. Amel Farouk, if I'm correct. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but Amel Farouk. Basically, Oliver and Carrie, you know, we see where Carrie was taken to by Oliver in the last episode. And here we're watching the moment of just before we see Carrie in the last episode getting everybody out of their state of kind of like wherever it is of like hypnotization or whatever it is that they're at. And we're seeing this conversation between Oliver and Carrie, and they're talking about how they're going to help everybody else get out. And it's just a brilliant episode. Oliver's written so beautifully. I love how his character is. I love the uniqueness of his character. I love the oddity of his character. And it comes out because I think it is his love for jazz music is probably what makes him so colorful. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And his personality is just great. So Carrie and Oliver come up with a way to help the others get out of the astral plane and away from the devil with the yellow eyes, aka Lenny, out of where they are. And it proved, like what I said in the last episode, that Lenny was dancing around inside David Haller's mind. They were stuck in a very small area in David's mind, and they were all teleported there, and they were in a standstill and kind of like a freeze frame moment, if you will, in the where they're about to get shot. So I kind of knew all that, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of figured that, but like I said, the way they showed it, it just made it very watchable for me. So I'm very, very happy about that. After Carrie gets told how to do it, Oliver gives Carrie these set of glasses that they can all wear so they can kind of see the truth. And when Carrie sees Sid, he sees her first and gives her the glasses. And what's pretty amazing is that when she puts it on, the film turned into black and white. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But one of the things that was even fucking cooler was that it turned into a silent film. So every time they talked, there was a title card after their dialogue. And I just thought that was brilliant. That's what I mean, is like, this show is just going to these beautiful, beautiful places that cinematically just makes me so happy, you know. And you know what, let me take this time, because I said it again, Noah Hawley, you deserve the job to reboot the entire X-Men franchise. Right now, you are the it guy. Fox, what are you doing? Call this man. Tell him that while he's in his off time doing Legion and Fargo, he needs to be writing and creating the world of X-Men right now. Why? Because it's exactly what this film franchise needs. They need a fresh, clean start. Okay? They need a fresh, clean start. Fuck the grounded shit. That's done. That is just so done. Like, Grounded was so 10 years ago. Okay, I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of Logan fans out there, but I'm done with that kind of world for the X-Men. Okay, we need a straight up science fiction world. Marvel is on this. DC is on this. If you are listening, you already saw the Justice League trailer. It's brilliant. Now, like I said, what you think about it, that's completely up to you. But what we see, as much as like what we saw in the Batman vs. Superman trailer, and also, not trailer, but the film, and also Man of Steel, is that those days of quote unquote grounded real superhero movies is done. We need the comic book versions of these characters. We need to see them flying. We need to see them fight all kinds of like demons or whatever it is that they need to fight, but to make it as unreal as possible. Batman swinging in that trailer boggled my mind. I thought that was amazing. He doesn't swing like that ever. He has never swung like that in any fucking movie that has ever been fucking made for Batman. Never. Okay, not like that. He don't swing like that and throw that. And just like in Batman vs. Superman, that fight, I don't give a fuck what you say about what you felt about that movie. That fight is beautiful. That is a comic book / cartoon typical superhero fight, and Legion gives us that. It gives us these colorful characters in a beautiful comic book related universe that has no real attachment to the X-Men universe per se, but it can. In this kind of vibe, we can get something so fucking brilliant and beautifully made in the X-Men universe if it was done cinematically. Now, back to Legion, but also one more thing about the X-Men related universe. We found out that this past week they started filming that the new Fox X-Men related TV show called Gifted. And it's about these coming of age teenagers that get their mutant powers and how they, go through life. I'm assuming that's what it is. It's called Gifted. It's coming out most likely next year. But what I'm trying to say is that Fox is looking into a new direction, and I'm very happy about that. I'm sure that if they can get these two TV shows off the ground, and Legion, I feel that is beautifully off the ground, And if Gifted can get off the ground and be a great show, I think after season 1 of Gifted, they should figure out what new direction that they can take for the X-Men universe when they release them on film. Stop sleeping, my fox, and hopefully this is not what you're doing. You have the power to bring this franchise back to life. You are showing that you're showing that you're persistent. Now you need to jump on that, because I know for a fact you're not going to sell this franchise to Marvel. I know it already. You know, people just need to realize that, though, and just keep it moving, man. This is the way that you can do this, okay? You know, so back to the show. Sorry for the offset, you know, and everything, but Carrie, like I said, has continued to wake people up. He took Melanie, and now she's in the room, in the frozen room where everyone is about to get, well, Sid and David are about to get shot. You know what I mean? She's stuck in there, and they're trying to figure out how they can get this off. You know what I mean? How they can stop it. They try to touch the bullet, it didn't work. They try to move him, they're not moving. You know what I mean? So they're trying to figure this out. So now, while Sid is in this, like, wearing this glasses inside what the fuck is the place called? Clockworks. I'm sorry. So while they're in Clockworks, she could take off the glasses, and there's it looks like a fucking zombie apocalypse inside the asylum. And then when she puts the glasses on, it's completely quiet. There's nobody there. It reminded me of the film They Live, which is pretty fucking cool, though. In a way, it was like They Live, you know, and you should see that movie if you haven't. It's fucking brilliant. Let's see. So she stumbles onto Carrie, the girl, and she's trying to fight off these zombie horde, and she can't do it. So she's trying to escape, and then all of a sudden, Sid comes to the help and puts the glasses on, and she sees nothing. She's calmed down, but at the meantime, while this is happening, she's being chased by Walter. Yeah, remember him? He's the other person that's in this astral plane stuck, but he has no problems, you know, getting around either, because he doesn't seem confused. He's trying to get to Carrie. He's trying to, like, most likely kill her. So for the meantime, you know, she's eluded him, you know. So they're walking around, and they're walking around with this dude, the one that can fling stuff around, and we find out he got stabbed in the room. You know, the Walter had left him there, and he morphed into Walter morphed into him in the room, and that's why that guy is shooting, is about to kill Sid and David. You know, no. Then back to the asylum, where we see Sid and Carrie pushing the wheelchair of the guy that was with them that got stabbed, and all of a sudden Walter starts attacking Carrie from, you know, behind everyone's back and everything. So she's fighting off. Her glasses come off. The zombies are all trying to get her again. And while they're trying to do all that, and Walter is about to kill Carrie, all of a sudden, the devil with the yellow eyes as Lenny comes out. And in this entire scene, like I was saying, is all in the silent film form. It's in black and white. Everybody's talking. There's title cards at the end of every speech. And it's still fucking gripping. It is still fucking thrilling and suspenseful. And it's just amazing. And all you hear is music. I just think it's like, you know, wow, you know, that's all I got to say is wow, that they're able to be so unique in storytelling their episodes. It's beautiful, 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 you know. So the devil with the yellow eyes stops everyone from, like, fighting each other. Walter is frozen, and all of a sudden, the devil with the yellow eyes, which is the biggest surprise of this episode, was that he kills Walter. Whoa. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. You know, so, but then again, they were never partners or anything, but just, you know, you think that they were on the same side or something, you know, because he's evil, they're both evil, so it's like, whatever, but at the same time, you understand that he doesn't give a shit about anyone. The devil with the yellow eyes does not give a shit about anyone. So, rest in peace, Walter. So, good riddance, if you ask me. So, he's dying, but, like, he's getting crunched up, like, into a ball, and that just looks freaky as fuck, you know what I mean? So he's getting killed off. they're trying to figure out a way out of the frozen situation where they're about to get shot. Lenny is about to kill Sid and Carrie, and then all of a sudden realizes that in the room where David and Sid are about to get shot, Oliver, thank you, Oliver, is using the power of music by the song Bolero, the jazz song, and he's creating some kind of shield with the letters of music, that are being played in the notes. And he's like composing it, and it's forming a shield from the bullets. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Yo, this is awesome, man. This is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's just mind-blowing. It's just a beautiful, beautiful trip that this episode took me on in this very simple story arc episode. You know what I mean? That's the way you do something. That's the way that you do something brand new. You do something brand new in a very typical, normal story. They do it all the time. Avatar is just a simple Pocahontas story. When you boil it down, that's all it is. You know what I mean? Like, but it's brilliant. It's just the way that you see it. It's the way that it's shown. It's the way that the story is being developed. When you take a simple story and you create something unique out of it. Because that's how you have to sell it. But he's creating the shield. Lenny gets pissed off and separates everybody in the room unconsciously, and then while she is doing all that, David somehow gets out of his situation because he realizes that he is not where he is, that he can get out, and his powers is manifesting inside of his mind, and he was able to save everyone. There, he caught the bullets with his hand, beautifully made and beautifully executed. Carrie put this helmet thing that he had all on the crown of David, where he can subdue the devil with the yellow eyes temporarily until they can figure out what they need to do to get rid of him. So he seems perfectly normal. His sister apologizes for not remembering, and he's just very apologetic. He's like, don't worry about it. That's fine. And everything is just coming to a nice, beautiful ending. And surprise, Oliver is out of the astral plane. Yay. Oliver's out of the astral plane, and everything seems to be good. Melanie looks to be happy. Everybody seems to be happy walking around Summerland. They ended up getting there. The only thing that I didn't like about this episode was that Paul Ptolemy is gone. They weren't looking for him. Why? He was the only one that stuck in wherever it was that he was, and it would have been nice to at least them stumble onto him or look for him. They didn't even call out his name. So that's the little downfall in this one. But he was one of the people that was freed from his mental hell. They all were. Walter died right then and there in the fucking floor. It just crumbled up just like the way that you saw him in the mental astral plane too as well. So everything is good. Everybody's having fun. Oliver's making breakfast for everybody. And then all of a sudden, boom, Division 3 comes. And guess the fuck what? That fucking guy from the beginning that we thought blew up in the swimming pool is actually still alive and fucking breathing. Limping on a fucking cane. But here we are again. You know what I mean? So, that's all I got for you, man. That's the episode, and that's the awesomeness of this episode. That's the awesomeness part of simple storytelling told in an amazing way. Okay? Fan-fucking-tastic. All right? So, one more thing. Like I said earlier, give Noah Hawley the keys to the fucking X-Men mansion. Okay? Give him the keys to the mansion. He is gold right now. That's it. He is gold. All right. So I think that I've talked way too much about Legion, episode 7, chapter 7, which I'm noticing why they called every single episode a chapter. It makes it feel like it's a new chapter in a book, in a comic book, when you get a brand new one every week or bi-weekly or whichever way that comic books, because they're all different. Whenever they release a new one, it's chapter something. You know what I mean? And it's actually making all kinds of sense right now because now every episode has its own credit sequence. They didn't have it before, but now they do. So, which is something that I just think is just as brilliant. Now I'm looking forward to how their credit sequence is going to look like. But again, I talked way too much about Legion. season 1, episode 7, chapter 7. You can look me up and subscribe to me. Please follow me on Facebook.com/WhatTheHellPcast, Twitter.com/TheHellPcast, Instagram.com/WhatTheHellPcast. You can search me on SoundCloud, YouTube, Podbean, Podbay, Podcast One. They're all there. Whatever it is that you like listening to, just do it in the search engine. What the hell did we just watch? ! Question mark. Well, actually, sorry. Question mark, ! And we can be friends, and just listen, be in the know, comment, like, share. Let me know what I missed, what I didn't talk about, what you want to talk about. If you like talking about films and televisions in this way. All right. So it's been an awesome ride. It's been a pleasure. And I will see you for the next episode, which is the last episode of Legion for the season. And we'll be back next year. But I will have some more TV shows that we can talk to. Maybe not in an episodic basis like Legion, but we will have a nice little discussion about other TV shows, okay? So without further ado, this is Lumotional Lou. What the hell did we just watch? The Legion series. And I just got one thing to say. It's been Lumotional.